Hello, welcome back to the Pedal Progressions podcast, where progression is the obsession. I'm joined with co-hosts Craig Frazee and Kellen Johnson, and I'm Brian Zajac, and today is our first time joining you from our new studio, which is the Taco Tuesday at Cannonsburg studio, located in the lodge, where it is currently 105 degrees. But ignore the air conditioner in the background, we needed it for this one. I'd like to thank our sponsors, obviously Cannonsburg, and then 8th Day Gym. Don't forget there's an awesome intro opportunity on the website for $49 for unlimited classes for the burn class, which is what I do, and I love it every single time. Also, our longtime sponsor, Building Blocks Foundation, and that is buildingblocksfoundationinc.org, just started the summer camps that I've talked about on every other episode. It's in full swing right now. The kids are super stoked. It's just a great local charity. So check that out. Look them up online. It's great. And also, we have something coming up at the Adventures Base Camp up at the Dragon. Our guest, Mark Deering, from episode 15, I think, wants us to build a skills area. So what we are going to do is we're going to kind of have a little camping trip with the boys and girls if they want. And he will provide camping and camaraderie, shuttles out to the trail after the workday is done to do an out and back ride, food, and a parking pass for the year, which includes an outdoor shower, which is really handy dandy after you ride how many ever miles you ride at the Dragon. Hey, Craig, why don't you tell us about some events?
We got a ton of cool stuff coming up, and the first is a recurring event. It's every Tuesday. Come get some tacos, drink some beer, hang out on the deck. Once a month, couple times a month, we'll be recording right at Cannonsburg, so take a lap with us. Maybe you'll get grabbed for an episode, but definitely come check it out. They have ice cream, tacos of all sorts of variety. New, I think, is margaritas I saw on the menu out there.
Dole Whip. Don't get me started on Dole Whip.
And Dole Whip, which apparently you can add some vodka to. Brian is a big fan. So, food starts at 5 o'clock every Tuesday. Come on out, have some fun, ride your bike, eat some tacos. Let's see, we've got Richmond Ruckus happening July 12th. So it's going to be bikes, pizza, beer. I think pool is involved somehow, way, shape, or another. So bring the family, bring your bike, bring a fun attitude. We will be emceeing that event and talking all kinds of smack to everyone coming down the trail.
I almost forgot King of the Ring as well.
Oh, King of the Ring, Jacoby event. When is
Jeff
that?
Jacoby. It is June 28th, I believe.
That's the first one. There's three events. 28th is the first one. We'll get to you on the next.
All right, the 28th, King of the Ring, Jacoby special. Make sure you're there. And finally, we have the buildingblocksfoundation.org is hosting a golf outing. So that will be August 22nd at Boulder Creek. Come out, swing some clubs. We're all pretty bad, but maybe we'll take a couple hacks.
You guys are good.
You've never seen me play.
You're better than me.
And finally, one last event. We got a lot of stuff going on. It's like peak season right now.
That's why we haven't had an episode in 4 weeks.
We've been hosting World Cup watch parties that occasionally turn into recording sessions. So sometimes we'll set up the microphones, turn on the event, and talk about what's happening on screen. So later on, people can sync up their watching of the event with our watching of the event. So it's almost like live commentating. But we are planning to do the Andorra World Cup, which is July 13th. So you get a double dose. Come out to the Richmond Ruckus, listen to us on the microphones there, and then we'll have a World Cup watch party the following morning, more than likely. So July 13th on that. I'm sick of talking. Kellen,
Craig,
tell us about the guest.
Thank you, Craig. This episode was a fun one. We had Danielle Musto, the impossible to get guest. You have no idea how impossible she is to pin down. But it was a real fun one, though. Some of my favorite highlights were talking to Danielle about never riding a bike and to going pro in 1 year. We also talked about how she started a non-profit kids mountain biking program that has grown to just shy of 500 kids strong already. We also talk about the impact Cannonsburg ski area has had on the mountain biking community locally. They've done a lot for us. And we also very quickly turn on Danielle for being an endurance athlete and not knowing what Strava is. So, without further ado, here is the elusive, the always busy, impossible to pin down, and formerly blacklisted guest, Danielle Musto.
You had a beverage delivery.
I did, yeah.
What
A
do we
mango margarita.
Ooh,
For,
those are new
for
this
Liquid
year,
Truth,
huh?
but honestly, I think they forgot to put the tequila in. I'm okay with that.
Just for you?
That's not the best problem to have.
We need Danielle to be with it. We gotta keep forgetting
Yeah.
her tequila.
That's when the likes and ums come out.
When did they make the switch from the ice cream outside the inside? That's just this year thing?
Yeah, it's just this year. Are we interviewing right now, or?
It might end up in there. It
So
might
it was
not.
actually my idea, only because the machines in the sweet spot produced so much heat.
Oh gosh, yeah.
That it was really hot.
People were dying inside.
Yeah.
Are there still going to be Dole Whip in vodkas?
Yes.
Okay. As long as that's still a thing. I was so bummed about that.
Oh yeah, there will be. I think we just have to like some of the outlets we had to change.
Sweet. I saw him working on it yesterday when I was downstairs looking for the 5 chairs that squeaked the least. I was walking through, and the guy was watching me, and I'm walking up to every seat going, ee-oo, 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 ee-oo.
Yeah. I someone was like, "Who is that guy down there testing our chairs?" I was like, "Oh, that's just Brian.
That's just what he
That's
does.
just Brian."
He's just looking for a nice chair. Sit his butt in. I know Doug's daughter walked out. I was like, "Hi." And I was like sweating through my shirt up here. Well, yeah, this is a big change. We're grateful for being here.
I think it's cool.
Where are we?
We are now we're going to be recording at the Taco Tuesday studio at Cannonsburg Ski Hill.
Whoop whoop.
Yep.
So will you be able to just get random guests sometimes?
Yeah, that's the plan. Is kind
Okay.
of going to be to take people and ride with them, and then bring them up. So like we'll get here, turn the air on, go for a bicycle ride, come back, and then talk about stuff or whatever.
Get them all sweaty and worn out first, and then try to talk to them.
Yeah, exactly.
we typically did that before. We put them on Zwift and then try to talk to them. But same deal.
Well, I was telling Danielle I've got 2 world-class CrossFit athletes that want to come in right before the CrossFit Games. One of them races gravel and mountain bikes a little bit, and the other one's only ridden like a hybrid bike at the CrossFit Games. And so I'd like to bring them out for a lap at Cannonsburg and then talk to them about that, the differences between that and CrossFit, and then like the CrossFit Games, because our team is in it again and they got like 4th in the world last year.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah. It's funny because he used to play football against Kyle Klein. He was a linebacker at Hope, and Kyle was a running back at Albion. So they used to hit each other all the time, and now they go to the gym together. All right. So it took us, 5 times to make this happen today?
To be fair,
2 over mine.
you guys like disinvited me the first time. I was blacklisted.
Yeah. That was unfortunate timing on that situation, but it was for the best.
But am I also the only guest to ever be blacklisted?
No.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You were the first.
Who? Oh. Do tell. I want to know whose company I'm in.
I am not going to say it right now.
Okay.
Was it really 5 times or was it 6 times? Because I thought I heard you thought we were doing this last week and you came up
That
here.
is true.
And we never showed up.
Yeah, I was like, they're late. I waited until 5:30 and then I checked the text message and I was like, no, I'm just wrong.
Kellen told me about it. I was like, oh no. And then Kim sent me a text and she's like, oh, Danielle thought your podcast was last week. And I was like, poop.
I wish I could say I've never done that, but Brian will text us the day before, and I'm like, oh, tomorrow? So we're getting better about the calendar setup. And
If I schedule it out too far, it's the opposite. Because you guys will do what she did. Like, aren't we recording on Wednesday? And I'm like, no, it's 2 more weeks after that.
Yep.
Oh, Kind of like this one. I bet you guys all thought it was last week too.
No, I had the panic. Saturday, Sunday you text me. I'm like, oh yeah, this week. Definitely happened.
We felt like you're one of our most requested local people.
By who? I don't believe that.
Well,
All right.
as you'll hear throughout this, you have done a lot locally. So we're going to try to touch on all of it and tell some fun stories about it.
All right, let's talk fast because it is so hot up here. I'm like dying. It's okay, I'm in it.
My first question, though, is because I actually don't know the answer to this, and I was like, holy crap. How and when did you start riding? I want to say 90s, because we've been in it about the same time, and we're about the same age. So.
No, definitely not the 90s. I'd say it was probably like early 2000s.
Like real early, too.
Yeah, early, probably like 2003 or 2004.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you get into it?
Oh, goodness. I started dating someone who was a mountain bike racer, and I wanted to be impressive. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to start racing pro. Like, it never occurred to me that I couldn't race. But from that moment, I had huge learning curves. You know what I mean? I started off handing out water bottles and was like, this isn't for me. And then got a bike and started riding on trail, crashed a lot, but slowly got better along the way.
I only can picture you riding your fat bike. Is that the only bike you've started with, or did you start on something else?
No, they didn't make fat bikes back then.
Yeah.
Or they probably did in like Fairbanks, Alaska, but not here. Not here by
Jill
any
Martindale
means.
had one.
Yeah, Jill was born on a fat bike, I think. No, I had a Voodoo. Oh, no, wait, what did I have? A Diamondback.
Okay.
And I thought it was super cool, but really it was like a extra large guy's Diamondback. And then once I started riding a bit, I was able to buy a mechanic's bike. It was used, but awesome. It was a Voodoo Bazango. And then it had a woody derailleur. Do you know what that is?
I had one too.
Okay,
They
so
were-
yeah, that was like my claim to fame.
Yeah, that
It
was my
still is,
favorite.
obviously. Yeah.
I had the American flag shifter with the wood grain derailleur.
Okay.
On the XC
I didn't
race
have
bike.
that, but yeah, the woody derailleur at least. So yeah.
So when did you actually start racing pro? From the time you started to actually racing?
Probably like the year after. So
just 1 year.
Well, okay, yeah, actually, because I started, I was working at the Gap at the time and going to college. And, okay, thank you. I'm so hot.
People in their car will just think it's
Temperature
so.
Oh, we got it on low now,
Yeah,
so it's going to be like whisper quiet.
No one has any clue what we're going through right now. We're hot.
We're doing this in a sauna.
Yeah, saunas are all the rage. Where's the cold plunge? Oh, the river.
Yeah, we
Yep.
can do that. Okay, so I was working at the Gap, and I used to work like long shifts while I was in college, like 24-hour shifts, because back then they didn't have the labor laws they do now.
Child labor was still a thing.
Yeah, basically, yes. And then I heard about 24-hour racing. It had just started, and Mark Hendershot was doing it, and he was a friend of mine. And I was like, well, I can work for 24 hours, so I can obviously ride for 24 hours. And then I qualified for Worlds the first year I did it. And Mark was like, yeah, go do it. And at the time, I could barely ride a bike. I just was stubborn, so.
So you went from not riding a bike to riding 24-hour races within a year.
Yes.
And Mark Hendershot, one of my favorite people of all time, his memorial ride is coming up in August. He had brain cancer, but he was so cool that he was on the Santa Cruz Syndicate team as an XC racer.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was total rock star status, and but
Yeah.
also the nicest person. And
Yep.
honestly, I owe racing endurance races to him. Like it probably wasn't logical that he was encouraging me like so early on when I started riding, but I believed him.
Have you always been do the endurance type stuff?
Yeah. Yeah, I had a coach, and she was like, yeah, you picked the right sport, because I didn't have like a sprinting bone in my body.
So when did you make the switch to fat bike then? Because that's what I know you from, is the
Okay,
fat
so-
bike, like racing and.
I want to say that was probably 2009, 2010, when Salsa came out with like their first Bear Grease. They were like, do you want a fat bike? And at first I was like, no, I'm not going to ride one. And then I hopped on one and I fell in love with it. It was so much fun. And then from that moment, they started making the carbon version, and I started training on it almost year round.
And you were sponsored by Salsa Bikes, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Eventually, that was like one of my last sponsor actually.
Was it?
And then I retired. But yeah, my last bike sponsor.
When did you actually retire?
Oh my goodness, I want to say 2014. I think that was my last race. It's a really long time ago.
That is when you think about it.
It's only a decade.
I think I did my 11th lumberjack that year. 11th or 12th.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's the 20th this year. It's like a big deal that
Okay.
it's the 20th. And it's if it was 10 years ago, then, yeah,
And then
10 or 11, yeah.
I think, actually, I retired the moment I crossed the finish line at Margie. I did Margie. So the first year they had that, and then I was like, I'm done with bike racing.
There's more to that story.
Oh.
Not only you finished and you won, Margie, right?
I was the only female who finished, so yeah. Okay.
But then you talked a whole lot of people into doing Margie the next year.
Okay, yeah, I did.
They didn't do it. So Courtney being one of them, Julie
Mm-hmm.
Whalen, another one of them. Just lots of people. I resisted and did not.
I'm assuming you did the 100-mile Margie.
I did.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then the lumberjacks were 100 miles too. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't ride 100 miles.
You can, though. You
Well-
can. Let's sign this guy up. You can.
She's good at this. Don't let.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you'll be doing 100
I just
miles
made the
of
wrong
Cannonsburg.
comment, didn't I?
You did. So where does your physical fitness base kind of come from? Have you done endurance sports like your whole life?
No, I was in marching band, so I didn't do any sports at all. In fact, when I started riding, I wasn't athletic at all. Like, I didn't even work out. I just hopped on a bike and started going. And I was not good. Like, I'm telling you, like, Egypt Valley, you know, like the state game area, I rode just the first quarter and thought I was dying. I'm super stubborn.
So where do you go mentally during a 24-hour race? Like, that has to be a deep, dark hole.
It is. It
Okay.
is for sure. When I first started, I would cry. And I didn't really, like, know enough about what it took. So I would want to stop constantly. But towards the end, I would train my mind leading up to it. Like, at 2 a.m., you're going to want to quit. Everything is going to hurt. And then when that moment would come, I'd be like, well, you knew this was going to happen, so just keep going. And you can't stop if you
That's
want
a
to
good way to
win.
deal with it.
Yeah. You just envision the pain, but it is so painful.
Do you have
Yeah.
gears for all those? Or did you do single speed too?
So I raced single speed at nationals. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
I'm sorry, my face is just like mouth is on the or jaws on the floor. Single speed for a 24-hour race?
Yeah, I'm the single speed national champ for 2011. 24 hours.
How have we not met until 20 minutes ago? This is crazy.
How many national championships or awards do you hold?
Only one for nationals. I have the stars and stripes for one, but I was on the podium a few times. I feel like I'm bragging. Yeah, this is like.
You're allowed to. It's been a decade.
All right, that's fair. Yeah.
You're almost to Al Bundy status where you're like, back in my day,
I know.
I raced 24 hours with no chain.
It was the first
Yeah.
adult Strider race. There we go, Jacoby.
Oh, no.
24 hours on a bicycle with no cranks, no pedals. Make it happen.
There's something there. Yeah.
Don't give him
Let's do
ideas.
it.
He listens now, so don't give him ideas. Next thing we'll be doing King of the Ring for 24 hours. It'll be 24-hour Le Mans.
It's coming back. You guys hear that?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, running one one race a month. Starting this month.
Now that you retired from biking, though, now you do all kinds of running races.
I do. No pressure.
And your fiance is a very good runner.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have yet to catch him or even be able to stay up with him. But he is. He does a lot
I bet
of.
you try, though.
I do. Of course I do. Yeah. Someday I will catch him. But yeah, he does basically what I did with biking. He does it running. To me, that would be so much worse because you can't ever coast.
Oh yeah, I didn't think of that part of it.
It would be truly terrible. I will not be I will never do that.
Yeah, it's
I'm
not like
saying it
walking
here.
is. It's not like walking is like coasting on a bike. Like
Right.
like it still sucks, especially if it's like he does a lot of trail running, right?
He does.
It's all off road, so it's not like walking's a relief.
Right. No, and it's like in the mountains. So, I mean, 100 miles in the mountains takes a lot longer than on a bike.
All of my like eating and stuff is planned off of the guy who holds all the records for those races for running.
Oh, who's that?
Zach Bitter.
Okay.
He's got like the 12-hour, the 100-mile, the 100-mile in a track, 100-mile in a treadmill. on Zwift. Like, yeah, he's crazy.
So what does he eat?
He is almost no carb all through training, and then he does like 30 grams of honey and a couple other things that are easily digestible every hour when he's doing, like, especially if it's on a track where it's like real easy to do. But yeah, it's just a matter of like not over consuming carbs that you spike your insulin, that makes you drop your blood sugar, so you get hypoglycemic while you're riding. It's basically the way I try to follow his curve is a lot of fasting going into it, and then only fueling what you need without overkill. So I used to bonk all the time. Now it's not a thing, so it's great.
Yeah, I would see a lot of people bonk during endurance races. Like, people would go out so hard and not pay attention to their nutrition or hydration, and then like I'd come upon them and they'd be like weaving all over and not fun.
That's something I would not be good at for endurance stuff, is the nutrition, like following a program or making sure I get enough. That'd definitely be my weak point.
Eating was my favorite part. I mean, honestly, if you want to know.
You probably look forward to it when you're like 18 hours in, like, man, I can't wait for that next granola bar or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Just something, I gotta get this far, get that food in, and then I'm good.
We had Jake Lombardo on, and he did his first like 100-mile ride, and Eric Graff told him like 50 carbs every hour or something, like, it's just some like mundane number. And he like would stop his ride, get his mix out, slam it, and then like keep going. Like
So to the like
to the second.
Okay.
Like,
50
Yeah,
carbs.
I was never like that.
50 carbs on the hour, every hour, all at once.
just like chugging.
So yeah, what about your running stuff? Are you doing those races now too? Are those endurance races? Are they?
No, I've done a few 25Ks. I would maybe do a trail marathon, but that's it.
I remember.
Until next year.
Yeah, I remember last year.
Hear it now. I will not do anything over a marathon.
Cam
Okay.
get her.
Yeah, I remember last year we were setting up for like a dirt dog stuff and that, and we were doing like a trail ride with the group, and you were running behind us. Like, everyone was biking to kind of show people the trail, and you're just running behind us all. I'm like, what are you doing? You can ride a bike, you know.
It is true. It's insane. Yeah, you're like, you're insane now.
Yeah,
You're a runner.
I had no idea you ran like that too. I just knew you from riding a bike. So what are you training for right now? What's the big thing on the horizon?
So honestly, I'm doing the Dirty Bird 25K just because it's home course advantage. Other than that, I wanted to do the Margie Mini in September, which is a 20-mile, I think, run. But I didn't sign up for it. It's full, and I was like, okay, it's probably a good thing. The universe was speaking to me.
If someone wants to transfer a 20-mile running, please contact Danielle Musto at...
But honestly, I feel like it's faster to run the Margie course than to bike it.
Oh,
to be
for
honest,
sure.
I walked so much of that course.
I agree. There were runners that I was like with a bunch when I was doing it, and I was on the faster side. Like, I was in the top 25. So to have runners passing me was pretty disheartening towards the end.
It's embarrassing. I've been passed by runners too when I first started biking, and I did not like it. So I never pass a biker running. That's
You'll
my
just wait
rule.
behind
I
them.
will. Yes.
You're just behind him pushing.
That would be a satisfying on your left to scream out though.
You got a noisemaker that sounds like a cassette that you're widening. Sounds like a free hub. Click, 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 click. Get out of the way.
That's terrible. Invisible light coming through.
Yeah.
It's me.
Go by like Monty Python style. Like, click, clunk, click, clunk.
Well, the hobby horsing, have you guys seen that online?
Yeah.
So it is a new burgeoning sport for people with too much time on their hands and that don't necessarily like the outdoors. They get a horse head on a stick and they like pretend they're riding horses, and they set up hurdles and do like prancing.
Like Monty Python and Holy Grail style?
You got it. It's almost like Harry Potter riding a broomstick, except they have a horse and they like jump hurdles and do equestrian style stuff. But what I'm envisioning for you is you get a set of handlebars and grips, maybe a stem, and you can pretend you're biking.
I'm in. I'm in.
Have you seen the rest of my bike?
I got a flat frame. I just had to keep going.
Yeah, I haven't seen the hobby horsing yet, but I need to.
We'll pull
Not
it
that
up
I
later.
want to do it. I'm just curious.
It's hilarious.
I coached ultimate at Grand Valley for years. We lost our practice spot in the indoor turf building, like because we were a high level like club sport. We lost it because the Quidditch team won the national championship the year before, so they got a better seat. So we had to practice at like 10 o'clock at night because the stupid Quidditch team would run around with brooms before we got there. It was
What?
yes.
I don't believe you.
You could look it up. It's probably, 10 years ago? Grand Valley National Quidditch Champions?
Is that Harry Potter?
Yes.
Have you not seen Harry Potter?
No, I've seen Harry Potter. I just didn't realize
What?
people actually
It's a
did
college
it.
club sport.
No,
Disclosure,
it is
I haven't
not.
seen Harry Potter.
Okay, I believe you, but no.
It might not be now because it was stupid then, so,
Yeah.
eventually the stupidness will wear off. Any Quidditch players, I'm sorry, but I hate you.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for mocking it or not believing in you. I believe.
We were going to play badminton and have a championship at the top of the hill here.
I do remember that. I'm still in. No one can beat me in badminton.
'Cause she doesn't
Brian
play
says
anyway.
that he can. He says he can, but
can.
no, I'm really good at it.
We're going to have to make this happen.
We've
was
been
going to
saying
be
this for a
invite
decade.
only. Yeah, yes.
I don't even remember who else was involved. I just know it was a foursome.
It was a really long time ago, but I'm so in still.
Craig and I have been trying to do pickleball out on the pavement out there. He's got the net.
Yep. Maybe turn it into a tournament? I don't know. Do something.
You could try, but don't you need it to be completely flat?
I mean, it's flat enough.
Okay.
We play in the Foster's driveway, and that's not flat and has lots of cracks the ball bounces off of. You just aim for the cracks.
It's home court advantage.
Yeah.
Totally. So do you have a race memory or an experience that sticks out in your mind as your favorite or something crazy, something wild?
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I can't even let me think about this. Like when I did nationals, I remember a mannequin on the side of the trail, and it would just constantly move, and it wasn't it may sound like I was imagining it, but someone was constantly moving it around the course.
That's
I remember it is creepy. And when I was in British Columbia, it rained for the entire 24 hours up at Whistler. And I remember at one point I thought a horse was running next to me. And I don't know if I was falling asleep or just hallucinating. There's so many memories that are just so out there.
Did you have to do Whistler on a hardtail for that?
I did. So that's when I raced it for slingshot. So not only was I on a 26-inch hardtail, but I didn't have a down tube. I just had the inchworm effect. I don't even know if you know what slingshot is.
Yes,
okay.
yes, we do.
So yeah, I had the inchworm inching me along at Whistler. Yeah. But they were my first sponsor.
Did you have a fork?
I did have a fork.
Like an old Rockshock Judy or something?
It must have been, yeah. I mean, the bikes were nice, but they were so heavy compared to what bikes are like now.
Yeah.
There's one built up with the old Spinergy 4-cross wheels and all the old stuff and a 170 stem at Rock and Road in Holland. I was in there talking to the guys one day and I was like, oh, dude, I grew up with the kid whose dad owned that place.
Yeah. Was that the original owner
No.
then? Or, okay.
No. Do you know Adam Watts? Mm-mm. A bunch of the people I graduated with were super good at riding, Russ Tile.
Oh, yeah. So Russ was my teammate. Russ, Brent Bookwalter.
Yeah.
He kind of left just as I, signed on.
For the Tour de France.
Yeah, just for the tour. I don't know what he was thinking.
Tiny little race. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Who would do that?
Yeah, and Kevin Camps and Cecilia Potts and our whole class. That's when I got into it. Was that whole class of people that traveled everywhere and raced together. It was always nice. We always had a ride.
Oh, yeah. So Cecilia was before my time. I remember always hearing about how fast she was, and then I think she stopped.
Yeah, I think she lives out in Montana now or something like
Okay.
that. Yeah, I still have high school friends that are friends with her. They go out and have ladies trips. And I see pictures and I always want to be like, you still ride?
Well, that's what people think about me then. They see photos of me and they're like, she doesn't ride.
You post a story every week walking next to a bike. With the dog.
I'm just going to start posing on my bike.
I'm telling you, get those handlebars in the stem.
I will.
And then
I will.
you can just take a picture, wear a GoPro, and then the POV looks exactly like you're riding a trail. But in reality, you're going for a trail run.
Yeah, because, like, I remember meeting you and, like, Julie Allaire and Julie Whalen at the same time. Like, man, all these women are taller than me. They're all so fast. You guys were, like, you all killed it for, like, a while.
Yeah.
It was a good time for sure. I mean, I'm definitely not that fast anymore. But I also don't ride as much or at all. But
So what?
eventually I will.
Could you run or ride a lap faster right now?
Ooh.
That's actually a good question. I want to try that out.
So what led you to riding less and less?
It was when I started, so it was kind of a combination. I had a really bad concussion, and at the same time, I started the Dirt Dawgs. So the Dirt Dawgs took a lot more work than I thought they initially would, and I was also starting to work at Cannonsburg Ski area, so it just seemed like a good time to kind of move into a different part of my life.
That was I was trolling for a segue to be like, well, you're known for your racing career, but I think locally you're more well known for the Grand Rapids Dirt Dawgs.
Yeah, the coolest team.
How
For
the
sure.
heck did that get started? Because it's a huge thing now.
Yeah.
And what is it? For the people that don't know.
Oh,
what
okay.
is
I
it?
thought you
Yeah.
didn't know, and I was like, what?
We're just
Get out.
Not
Yeah.
everybody has our brains and knows everything.
Not all our listeners are from Grand Rapids either.
Okay. So I'm going to be super famous then. The Dirt Dawgs, it's a nonprofit mountain bike organization, and our mission statement is teaching kids a healthy lifestyle and trail stewardship through mountain biking. That's the official mission statement. It's basically just a rad group of kids who come out weekly and ride with their coaches. You know, getting them outdoors was really important. It started when I was riding on a group ride with, you know, I want to say the kids were middle schoolers, but I was listening to them speak behind me while they were riding, and they were just talking so organically about issues in school. And I thought back to when I started riding, and I guess we didn't talk about this in the podcast so far, but when I started riding, it felt like I was in my skin for the first time. Like, you know, my parents were really into, like, me doing well with homework. They wanted me to learn an instrument, but riding is what gave me my self-esteem. And I kept thinking back, like, oh, if I would have done this in middle school and high school, I wouldn't have cared so much, like, what the, like, local bully was doing, because I would have known I could beat him on a bike. And that's how the Dirt Dawgs started.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I just learned just past couple weeks that the Dirt Dawgs is a nonprofit. So Cannonsburg isn't making money off all this, are they? And they're just letting them use
Yeah.
the facility and all that just to do all that. I thought that was really cool. I didn't know that.
Buy a hot dog, parents.
yeah. Support them in some way because they're not making money off of you.
Oh, yeah, not at all. We did it as a nonprofit. Luckily, there was this really great group of people who came together when I was starting the team. And so we formed a board of directors, and it was a learning experience the first year. I'm talking like emergency action plans, like everything that you need to know when starting a kids team with volunteers and coaches. Trying to find insurance, it was down to the wire, and luckily a local insurance company picked us up because there were so many like national brands that would just say, like, kids on mountain bikes in the woods, no, we're not even going to give you a quote.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been a dirt dog coach for a little while now, and every year it's growing more and more. Like this year you got a full bike patrol like team that's out there with all the kids and that, keeping them safe, and every year gets bigger and better.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I definitely think that it will eventually probably expand to other locations as well. I know there's other bike teams doing that, and it would be awesome to see.
Yeah, that's exciting to hear it's going to expand to different places.
Yeah.
You have like different cities in mind or something, or just kind of locally?
I think so. So this is the 10th year, and this year Alexa Newman, who was my first ever assistant at Cannonsburg, is...
Wait, that makes sense because you just retired this year, didn't you?
Yeah. Yes, Alexa's kind of like, yes. She's taking the realm. Like, I'm still helping her, but she's amazing. And I know eventually she would love to expand to different cities.
Yeah.
In order to do that, it'd have to be a full-time job for her because it takes so much work.
Oh, I'm sure it does. How many kids do you have total this year? Do you know? It's just under 500, isn't it?
I want to say 488.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It's really cool. I mean, when you think of that many kids getting out each week on bikes in the woods, it's really cool.
And it could be so much bigger. I know they hold a lottery to get in because they just don't have the room or the people, or you got to limit it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I want to say there were 160 on the waiting list.
Yeah.
These numbers are blowing my mind, and where my brain goes is just this is how mountain biking has staying power. Like getting a next generation into it and opening up these kids to new experiences and riding. That's awesome.
Definitely. I mean, we have kids that started who are now in college racing. And it's really cool to see over the 10 years. You know, they're on scholarships, but they're also junior coaching the Dirt Dawgs. So that's like the next goal is to kind of like provide a feeder system so that we always have coaches who are familiar with the system because they grew up in it.
Yeah. Yeah, I got 2 kids in it. They both love it. They love, you get jerseys with it. They love wearing all their jerseys. But you got anywhere from kids, very beginner striders, to up to, what, 16 is the cutoff age?
I want to say 15 or 16, yeah.
And they ride, big, full adult bikes. And it's the whole range of kids that they're in it.
So talk to me about functionally what the group does. Is it a weekly ride? Is it set up between the coaches and their group, or race support? Like what's the talk to me about how the sausage is made.
Yeah, well, Kellen's a coach, so he can kind of give you like a coaching perspective. It's basically teaching the foundation, things that I wish I knew from when I started riding. No one told me about level pedals. No one told me to like just brake with my pointer finger about steering straight ahead. So I was constantly falling over and endoing. Like I was a hot mess when I started biking, but it's also just letting the kids learn organically. So you'll teach a skill for maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, and that's when kids want to go into the woods. But then it's taking them out and letting them kind of experience it, like over rocks and roots. This is when you want your feet level.
Yeah, it is building skills based on your group level. And if this sounds interesting to you, you want to coach, you want to get your kid into it, be a coach. You don't have to know anything. And there's people that's doing the striders, and they kind of learn as they go along too. And there's more advanced people like me where, we kind of know what we're doing, and you can ride behind a kid and be like, all right, we need to work on this week, or we need to work on this, with this kid. And it's very personal based for the kids, and the kids grow incredibly by the beginning of the year to the end of the year. You can tell a huge difference, but it's very tailored. It's cool.
And any ability can coach. Like one thing I learned when I started giving instruction for mountain biking is me explaining it to someone else really helped my riding a whole lot. When I finally had to like break it down, because like the key to being a good coach is being able to explain it to multiple different people that don't understand things the same way. And I assume, because I don't do kids when I coach typically, that the kids, you have to explain it 15 different ways for 15 different kids to get it.
I agree heavily with that. I mean, I ride, but I'm like, I just do it because I know how to do it. But when you have to break it down in your head and break down the little steps for that skill, like, oh, okay, I can work on this little part of that skill and break it down and get better at my own skills as I'm teaching. It's great for coaches and the kids.
Yeah, it's really, stuff like that really has helped me fundamentally. So, yeah, I mean, Joel Boersma, he coaches, he loves it. Like, he tries to get me to do it all the time.
He's so good, though. He just told me the term goat gear, and I didn't even think of that, but for climbing, like you want to be a mountain goat, and he was like, teach the kids to press in the goat gear. So I think that's the other cool thing. So many coaches kind of bring like their creativity towards it. Or does everyone know that term and I don't?
I've never heard it.
Okay, yeah, so go Joe.
My dad always called it the granny gear.
Yeah.
Okay, so did I.
Because it makes you go really slow.
Yeah, I call it a granny gear.
Yep.
But that was my little ring on my triple chain ring. On my Eagle gear, I just call it my, oh crap.
So what made you step away as being the lead person of the Dirt Dawgs?
Basically just time. It felt like a good period where I was like, okay, I definitely trust Alexa. I had been doing it for really 10 years. Yeah. But on top of that, I work a lot in the winter. So I do events at Cannonsburg, and it's all on to where it's 100-hour weeks. Nonstop. We're here 7 days a week from open until close. And then with the Dirt Dawgs, I was here until really late at night, and I still am, but it's just nice having a bit of a break.
This is why it's been so hard to get you on, because I know how busy you are. I see you all the time, but you're always in passing, running the one thing to the next.
Oh, yeah.
How many events do you actually have going on here?
I would say we have weddings, and then we have our own Cannonsburg mountain bike team that we started, and a trail running team. And then we have yoga, disc golf is starting. So there's probably a few events every month at least.
You got like Taco Tuesday.
Taco
at food.
Tuesday.
Spartan race.
Spartan race. Yeah, there's so many.
Adventure
when you
race.
start looking at it.
And even like you have the snowcross stuff in that here. Like
We had
you got
snowcross.
tons of stuff that's always going on here.
Yeah.
There's always something cool going on.
And the way that Dirt Dawgs was growing too, I realized like I couldn't give any more to it, and I really want the program to succeed. And I am convinced like it could become a full-time job for someone if they want to take it to that level.
I would think that'd be tough, giving up something that's your baby, you created, you made it, and kind of having to let it go out in the wild to grow and thrive more.
Yeah, it definitely felt like that. Like I wrote like not a goodbye letter, but like a letter where I was passing on the torch to Alexa, and I read it and started crying like a little baby. But I'm really proud of her too, and it's actually really fun to see how she brings a different perspective, and just watching her kind of take it on.
Yeah.
And you get to take a step back and kind of enjoy what you built in a way. Like maybe you show up and you got not a care in the world. You can just hang out with the kids or with the coaches or something, and not have something you feel like you're supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
That is totally true. And then I still coach the Cannonsburg mountain bike team, and it's kind of like looking back in time at what the Dirt Dawgs was, because we have 60 kids on that team, so it's much smaller, but I still get a little piece of coaching, and it's fun.
So what's the big difference between Dirt Dawgs and the Cannonsburg mountain bike team?
Absolutely nothing. It's like the same thing. It's the same thing. So I did make the Cannonsburg team smaller, like the age gap is smaller. It's for kids 6 to 12.
Okay.
Whereas the Dirt Dawgs, I think our youngest child was 1.5 at one point.
Was it really?
And that goes until, 1.5 to 15. I mean, we have little kids in diapers just standing on their striders, but it is the cutest thing ever.
Yeah, my kid was 4 when they started. Yeah, they love it. They every week they're like, is it Dirt Dawgs Day? Is it Dirt Dawgs Day? And they just want to ride with a bunch of people riding bikes and have fun. And having a group of kids ride a bike is together makes them want to ride a bike.
Oh, it's so fun. And when people say, like, kids don't want to be outside, they're in front of video games, I disagree completely. Kids want to be outside, and they still have that sense of wonder. I remember reading an article that some adults tend to lose that over time. Kids have great imaginations. They want to play in puddles. I'll, like, tell kids things like, we have to look for the peppermint tree. And, like, they actually think there'll be a peppermint tree. We smell and we use our imaginations, and all of a sudden it's a peppermint tree. Like, kids love just being adventurous and exploring.
That's one of the negative effects that I've definitely noticed of smartphones. It's like, when's the last time you guys were bored? Ever. And you just have your brain work through in the back of your mind a problem maybe you're facing in your life. You don't realize it, but when you're bored, those are the times when you have an aha moment, and kids kind of embody that imagination and that wonder, and let's be bored more often.
Are you cramping? Sorry.
Yes. For like 5 minutes now.
All right.
Brian went quiet.
He was agonizing in pain.
We need to get this sponsored by Element. Element, like the...
We've tried.
Okay, because...
I wanted to suggest that you guys start having the Element cans because they're so good.
So their consumer director... No, they actually will let us sell them, but we have to make a video. And that's one of the things I wanted to get around to. It's so good. I swear by Element.
I saw the cans by your office over there.
Yeah, you obviously need one. But if it's going to be like a podcast in 100 degrees, we need a sponsorship ASAP.
Hey, we'll leave the AC unit off if we get a Element sponsorship.
That's true.
It was the only person I reached out to when I went to Europe racing that turned me down.
Oh, really?
Yep. It was just, they only do it, their intake for athletes is a certain time of year, and I missed it. And I'm like, well, can I still get this or whatever? And they're like, no. But it's also by far my favorite and the best, so I still use it religiously. And they send me lots of free stuff because I'm being an avid buyer.
Okay. I didn't realize they were around like that. I'm not saying that long, like you're old, but like... Longer than 2 years. I only discovered it 2 years ago.
When I went low carb 7 years ago, it was just coming out.
Okay.
So I've been with them from the beginning.
So what's your favorite flavor then?
Of the powder or the carbonated?
Okay, I guess both. Let's do both.
I do either 2 watermelons or 2 raspberries in a 22-ounce bottle for like a 30 to 40 mile ride.
Watermelon is elite. Absolutely elite.
And then with the cans, I actually like the black cherry lime one. I think the best.
All right. I like citrus, and then I like raspberry salt for the powder. But the new lemonade or the new lemon flavor is amazing.
Oh, we just ordered our first box of it. It's really good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
Have you gone up to the 2 packs per bottle yet?
I have not, no.
That's what I needed today.
I
Yeah.
can't do that. I
was-
cannot do 2 packs per bottle. That's too salty.
Who was it in Bentonville? They couldn't. Oh, it was
This
Kyle
guy.
Klein.
This
oh,
guy.
and you?
Yes.
Couldn't do 1 pack per bottle, and I was like, please.
I don't want something salty when I'm hot and sweating and thirsty. It's gross.
You don't want electrolytes when you're losing electrolytes.
I tried to explain it. Tried to explain Element to my parents, and they about fell on the ground.
I
Like,
get it. You need
yeah.
that, but man, I don't like tasting it.
I showed them a packet, and they're like, "Wait, 2,000 milligrams, or is it 1,000? I can't remember. It's 1,000." And their mind could not comprehend how much salt that was. But they've come around to it a little bit more once you explain what sweat is.
Have you ever thought about trying to get some type of sponsorship for the Dirt Dawgs or something like that, like a discount code or something like that? Have you ever? Has that ever been a thought?
So when we first started, we did have some sponsorships. I want to say Superior Foods provided us with like granola bars and everything, but that's one thing I think Alexa's going to take to the next level, just because I didn't ever have time to go after sponsors. So I think like providing them with discounts. I know one thing we were trying not to do was have any exclusive bike shops, because it's definitely more than just like one shop right now. I mean, if you look at where everyone is from, it's like the entire West Michigan community. But I think bike shops could definitely be involved to where they offer like, you know, a certain percentage off. There's going to be so many kids who are going to be looking for like, you know, kid-sized gloves, camelbacks, little glasses.
Yeah.
It's definitely something worth looking into.
Yeah, or I always thought like, you know the cheap plastic pedals that come on a bike, like your kid's feet get bounced off of. You can get like the nice, decent pair of pedals would be great for little kids, or riding shoes or something. That was always my thought, is find a good sponsor or some type of hookup with a bike shop would be great for them.
That is one thing I noticed with kids is like, I think that there's definitely an opportunity for better gear. And of course it can't be too expensive. Like I know adults will spend a lot more money on bike gear than a child who's going to grow out of it in a year, but having quality is somewhat important. There's times where the bikes are really heavy. Kids don't know, so we never tell them, but
for any sponsors listening out here, you want a repeat customer, kids grow very quickly.
oh yeah.
You will be getting a new set of whatever every year from them.
That's true. I mean, shoes, gloves, everything.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
Well, I know like when we were with the skills park, we were kind of commissioned to build the pump track here and the like beginner jump line and stuff for the kids to do. And like that all came about because of Dirt Dawgs. The Grand Rapids Bicycle Shop sponsored us, but it was geared for us to build stuff for kids to have fun on, even though I do miss adult pump track race league.
Bring it back.
We need a sponsor for some dirt, and we can fix
Oh,
this
yeah.
pump track up.
I want to say it was like Thornapple.
Yeah, it was Thornapple.
Okay, so I mean, if they wanted to come back, but then Kent Equipment gave us the equipment to use. I mean, we moved a hill. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it keeps falling in it.
Okay, fair enough.
The hill's trying to come back.
We've been in a fight with this hill for over a decade.
So we need like beach grass or something too. We need a seed sponsorship.
Well, no, I think the grass is basically taken care of, and like the fences, it's just a matter of just need to have a trail day, and we could teach some of the Dirt Dog parents how to do it right. We got burned out on doing all that stuff, and it was a lot of work, and it like I wish I could say that we could come out and like keep it up and keep it nice, but pump tracks are a lot of work, like a lot of work.
I had no clue when I was hoping to build a pump track at first. I had what am I saying? I had no clue.
That one sip of your
Yeah.
drink
I
really
guess
got you.
You stopped pointing at that. You already told us they forgot to put tequila in there.
Maybe not. But I had no clue, like with the rollers and the spacing and the berms, how consistent it all had to be. I was way in over my head. So I was so happy that you guys all helped. Like Andy Fleetstra, you, Joel.
Bill was out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the most work I've ever done. And like, I actually have to make an event coming up, and I got to list it later. Or you would have already heard this in the podcast because I would have said it at the beginning. But Mark Deering wants me to put in a pump track and a baby jump line and finish the drops that I'd started there so they can run clinics and stuff up there.
Sweet.
But the same thing, and I'm just dreading making the pump track part of it. Like, jumps, fine. Drops, fine. But, like, man, building easy stuff is so hard.
Moving dirt in the mounds.
Yeah.
Screw that.
He was a dirt dog coach for a while, and he also was our realtor. So he actually helped us just buy a house.
Oh.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm not kidding. Hire a mountain biker as a realtor when buying a house because they just like go for it.
They're good at scouting land.
Totally, and they just get competitive because you want. Maybe it was me who was competitive. I was like, I'm gonna win this.
I took him to Boyne Highlands for the first time, and as soon as we got back, he said, "We need to do this and this
Yeah.
and this." And we're like, "Well, better capture this energy."
Ride the momentum.
So you've worked at Cannonsburg for 10 years, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe. I remember when you got hired.
Whoa. Are you going to make it past 10 years?
I am.
Okay.
I honestly, no matter how much I work, it never feels like work because of the environment. It's very fluid here to where I'm always working on different things. So I'm never sitting at a desk, staring at a computer the entire day. And we're all really close.
Yeah.
I would say.
I personally think that Cannonsburg has been the most important thing to the West Michigan mountain biking scene. Like, my first race ever in 1996 was out on this hill. There was 3 miles of trail, or like 3.5 or something like that. We had to ride through the old dirt half pipe and stuff that was over off the double, and it was a sandy mess. And to see like what it's come to this, and like having Taco Tuesday, Dirt Dogs on Monday and Wednesday. Is there food on Thursday?
There is. There's food on the deck, just hot dogs and salads and burgers. But yes, really good.
Friday, question mark?
Not Friday yet. But on Friday in August, we're starting disc golf. So we're going to have an adult disc golf league here, which will be really fun.
Has there always been a course?
No,
out there?
actually,
No?
Black Rocks is sponsoring it and Great Lakes Discs. So they're bringing in portable baskets every Friday.
Oh, so you get
Nice.
to change the course and make new holes?
You're
yeah.
asking me
Alright.
too many questions. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it sounds like
No.
it will be something kind of new or a new flavor every week. Yeah.
For sure. So I think the course might be the same because they're going to keep track of points and everything. And I know Black Rocks is like providing prizing, but I don't know much about disc golf. So maybe that'll be my next sport. I'll just feel like I'm going to be a pro.
You have to try
In a
it.
year.
A speed disc golfer. You're
Yeah.
gonna run between the
Totally. Yeah.
24 hours of disc golf.
Yeah.
with no sprinting.
Our chef is a pro. He's very competitive. He would never let me beat him, ever. But he's the one who's putting it on, and it's going to be pretty cool.
I will say you got good food out here, too. Like the Taco Tuesdays. Excellent.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have not yet tried it. I need to do that this year.
The Taco Tuesday? You
Not
haven't tried the tacos?
This year.
Okay,
This
yeah.
year.
His carnitas are really good. And then, I mean, it's all good.
I've heard it's good this year.
It's Taco Tuesday right now. Like,
I'm aware.
What are you doing up here?
Yeah.
We were told that we could not buy food yet because it was $4.50 and we
Okay.
were getting drinks, and we're like, yeah, we know.
Is ice cream shop open every day?
just Monday through Thursday. And it's, inside, slightly abbreviated, but it's a little bit too far off the beaten track to be open all of the time.
Yeah. It was open all the time last year, wasn't it?
It was.
Okay. That's why I was remembering that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids, every time we drove by, let's get ice cream. Every time.
The Dole Whips with vodka are amazing. I can't express how 2 of those make you feel so great.
It's like the best of all worlds, I guess.
At one point, I think there was two flavors that really mixed well last year. I think it was cherry and pineapple, and they went together, and it was heaven in a glass.
So what's the story with that machine? Is it not running yet this year?
It's not running yet.
Okay.
An electrician is going to fix the outlet, the plug, so that it'll fit the outlet, but it will be back, I promise.
I think Brian will probably volunteer to fix it himself.
Apparently so. I wish I was like videotaping your face when you were talking about it.
He was looking to the heavens
Yes.
and imagining the beautiful Dole Whip.
I would have turned these beautiful lights on above us, but it was already hot.
So
We
hot.
didn't need to add heat. The air conditioning makes it better. Probably isn't as great for the listening experience, but it makes me feel better. Except for the leg cramps.
No, kind of getting back to how how Cannonsburg has been so great for mountain biking. That I feel like Cannonsburg is one of those places that they'll let you try anything. Like, let's throw whatever at the wall and see what sticks. And you've been great for us with that. You've let us do so much stuff out on the property here and build our skills and see what works. And it's just been a great place for us and mountain biking in general around here.
I'm obviously biased, but I love it. I truly do. And working here is, I feel very fortunate because I get to kind of be behind the scenes, but I see how many people use it for different reasons. We have a guy who's probably in his 80s who comes and hikes up the hill every single day, even in the winter. Like, we let him up, go before we open. And then there's people who like go for hikes in the woods, trail run, mountain bike.
This is where I bring
fat
my dog.
bike. Yeah, and we love dogs here, so a lot of people bring their dogs. But I think it's a really gem, and right outside of the city, and I truly love it.
Yeah, there's so many different people here on any day. I mean, there's people with their dogs. There's people in like full backpacks trained for hiking, climbing up and down the hill, runners, bikers.
I mean, we moved here down the road.
Yeah.
For here, basically.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that you did too.
Yeah. I moved here for essentially Cannonsburg.
Craig's next.
We'll see. Give me a year.
You just bought a house in Traverse City.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize you were like from out of the city.
Well, this kind of came out of nowhere. It was just something that fell in our lap a little bit, and so we're gonna rent it out Airbnb and then use it ourselves occasionally, and yeah. So
You should come up and do your first ever downhill race at. Here, she's already shaking her head
No
now.
way.
It's our
Thrown a year.
20th anniversary.
No way. I would do Iceman again on a single speed.
Okay, Alex, can you make that happen?
I like racing Iceman on a single speed, and then Lumberjack too. If we're talking about bike races, I would go back and do that, I think, on a single speed.
Are those your favorite races?
So, not necessarily. My favorite race is actually in Wisconsin. It's called the Wausau.
Wausau?
Yeah, Wausau. It's like such a fun race. They offer, I think, a 6, 12, and 24-hour race. So many good memories. And the course is fun too. Iceman was one of my first races, and I know that a ton of people do it. I know it's a bit pricey, but the atmosphere used to just be so much fun. And I think that's part of, like, when I look back at bike racing, it's not even at the bike race, but my memories of it.
Yeah, I've never raced Iceman, but I love going and just being there for the atmosphere. I know so many people racing, doing it, running it.
Yeah.
And I love going there just for the atmosphere and what happens there.
And they also donate money to the Dirt Dawgs. So, like, they take a little bit of money from the transfers, and I know they donate money to the Dirt Dawgs. I want to say Norte in Traverse City.
Yeah, that's
the Coyotes,
Alex is the coach of
and
Norte.
906. Okay, so yeah, so they give back too, which is really cool.
That's cool of them, yeah.
Yeah, for our Iceman experience every year is quite a bit different just because we host the race on Sunday, the downhill race. So we usually get the trail ready and have like a fun like pre-ride, free ride on Saturday, and then we head over for the pros, and we'll catch the end of the slower waves, which is always fun to see. Then we catch the kids, which is always fun to see. And then when we hear Robbie come by on the dirt bike or Ward, it's time to party. And like last year we got to help hand out some cheeseburgers with Jill and those guys, and that was fun. Jenny, it was fun to see all of them. Like, we participate in Iceman, but we don't ride it.
That was hand out cheeseburgers to the racers mid-race, like shoving cheeseburgers in their mouth as they're climbing hills.
I think it's nuggets this year.
Nuggets.
Oh, really?
Nuggets or sliders.
What's the dipping sauce of choice this year for them?
I don't know. Jill's probably, and Jenny's probably listening, so
Yeah.
if you could let us know the sauce choices for this
I
year?
think I'd want like sweet and sour. Like if I were racing, I'd want a sweet and sour
Would Buffalo
sauce with
make you go
nuggets.
happy
Buffalo,
faster?
Buffalo would not make me happy.
Would it make you go faster though, or slower?
Probably slower. And then blue cheese, like ranch maybe? I don't know. No,
It seems
sweet and
thick.
sour. Yeah, sweet and sour.
Chick-fil-A. No,
Still
you-
kind of
I
heavy.
don't like Chick-fil-A.
what?
Yeah, I'm probably one of the only people. And I'm also not on Strava. Fun fact. I don't like Chick-fil-A and I'm not on Strava.
Wow.
I don't
Those
know why
are your
I
hot
felt like I needed
Yeah. That could be a recurring segment. Like, give us your hottest take. Yeah.
It's hot in here.
It's so hot. I was like, I was just getting angry.
Do you not have Strava, or do you keep it private?
No, I don't have it. Like, I don't even know what you use it for. I mean, obviously mapping out, I guess I know what it's for, but I don't.
No.
Everyone loves it. Brian's on it.
Yeah.
Brian, the fiance.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
And you probably are too.
a lot
We
of
all are.
endurance
We all are.
athletes.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of endurance athletes just heard that and fell out of their chair, I think. Well, I don't even know what it's for.
Do you run a Garmin or any type of computer on your stuff?
I do have a Garmin,
What do
but
you-
I don't like keep track of anything. I
You just put it on your bike, not turn it on?
No.
Better than a car bumper like me.
You just I just want to fit in. I don't know what it does,
Okay.
but it makes me feel good.
I just look at what mile I'm at. Like, mentally, I have to know.
Don't they have wooden poles on the trail that tell you that?
They do. So, okay, I like looking at my wrist.
Okay.
Like, okay, I'm at 2 miles, like 3 to go, or whatever distance I'm running. I used to train with a Garmin. I used to train with Power.
Okay.
But Strava, I would do such long rides, and most of my rides were slow. No one would be interested in, like, an 8-hour ride that had, like, multiple...
It's not for other people. It's for you.
Okay.
It's a way for you to track what you've been doing.
It's not a bragging app.
I take it back.
You have the Garmin Connect app, though, right?
I do, but I don't use it.
This is the biggest revelation of the whole interview.
This turned
24
around-
hours on a single speed? Whatever.
This turned around
no
quickly
Strava.
on you.
An elite endurance athlete, no Strava. Don't have the Garmin Connect app, I just heard.
No, I have it. I just don't use it. Like,
They didn't have internet when she retired.
This just turned around quickly on you.
It always does.
I know. It's okay. I'm not embarrassed.
You're going to take your third sip out of that second.
Do you guys watch those videos where you like answer questions, but you eat like hot chicken wings, like spicy
Oh,
chicken
yeah,
wings?
hot ones. Yeah.
I feel
Awesome
like
show.
this is our version at Cannonsburg, but we're just like dying of heat.
I actually feel pretty good now. I must be closer to the air conditioner.
I'm not gonna stand up. I'm gonna just carry my chair with me so you guys can't see what's going on.
You don't need to
Yeah,
carry it.
it's just going to stick to you. You don't need to carry it. It's just going to stick.
Well, I guess one big question before we make fun of you more. What events are coming up for Cannonsburg? Do you have to pull your calendar out and look? Because there's a lot of stuff. There's Dog Days of Summer, which we haven't talked about yet,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, that's August 3rd.
You talked about a different race that you're thinking about running.
Dirtyburg, that's July 12th.
Is that bikes and running?
That's just running.
Okay.
And that's like, there's everything from a 5K to a 50K.
Is there a dog running event this year?
You know, there isn't this year
Yet.
Yet. The rest of July is mostly just Spartan. I know they take up about 15 days to set up.
Yeah, I got asked to be on a team, and I was like, no.
Have you ever done one?
No.
Okay, I did it last year, and they like merged me to registration because I kept saying I'm gonna do it, and they're like, okay, we're signing you up, and it was such a crazy experience.
I don't like getting wet is the problem.
I don't like getting wet. I can't do push-ups. I don't do upper body strength, but it was actually really fun just because I run. So you can, I shouldn't say this, but you can not do the obstacles and just run the penalty lap. And I got first place in my age group. I don't even know if you're supposed to do that, or it's probably not in the spirit of
Did
it.
you beat Julie Allaire?
No, because she did the 10K, but she races elite. I was in the age. The elite woman and the elite men are amazing.
I'm assuming she did well because she
Oh,
does that, yeah.
I'm sure of it.
She went to a gym specifically for Spartan racing.
Wow.
Her and Katie. Because they drug Courtney along for a while.
Did Courtney like it, or?
She loved the gym,
Okay.
but she never did a Spartan race. But, like, all of the training was based on, like, stuff you would encounter in a Spartan race. But it was downtown, and then we'd always go to Gravel Bottom after and talk about how sore they were.
Well, that would be fun. That part would be fun. But we had a crawl up face, which is like our steepest hill, under barbed wire. And it was like really low, like almost the entire like section of face. And we were in sand, and it was so hot and sweaty, and the barbed wire kept getting like caught on my hair. And then people were like, turn around and like inchworm up. So then the barbed wire's right above your eyes. It's a really crazy experience, but also really fun in a weird sick way.
In a type 2 kind of way.
Totally,
Yep,
yes.
yep.
What's the difference between a Spartan race and a Tough Mudder race? Is there a big difference, or are they pretty similar?
They're similar. From what I hear, Tough Mudders like to drink more. That's what they told us. Spartans are more healthy. So you guys would be Tough Mudders, yeah.
Where do we put our application in?
And
We'd be
there's much
fun
more
mudders.
mud for the Tough Mudder. Like
okay.
more mud pits to go through. This was all like a lot of upper body strength. You're throwing like spears.
More like warrior type.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yep, I keep hitting this.
You're not as bad as
Okay.
some. Don't worry
All
about
right.
Marnie beat the hell out of it.
it. Her microphone ended up completely upside down before we started.
It's still upside down. No, we had to move it because she kept doing this
Yeah.
and like slapping it underneath. That's why we turned a bunch of them upside down, because Craig can be an adult and not hit his, but the rest of us
Can't
are
be
constantly doing this underneath of it.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why we have it upside down, in case you're wondering. It makes better picture.
I wasn't. I didn't even notice, to be honest.
All right, so Spartan race.
Yes.
What's after a Spartan race?
Let me think. Once we hit fall, we kind of transition. We have weddings, but then we start our haunted forest, and that's,
Oh, that's
my
awesome.
favorite. Yeah,
My
it's a
dog
month of-
hates all your things that you put out
Oh,
there.
it's terrifying. We basically own a spirit store by this like point. I mean, we've done it for a few years. We have such scary things.
That
You-
horse that's out there on the kids loop,
Yes. Mm-hmm.
that's still currently right there. Every time my dog like side eyes it when we go by, because I always run my dog on the different kids loops as opposed to being on the trail because it's so busy here.
Yeah.
Unless it's like early morning or something.
How many people do you hire that do that in the fall? Like, I know you hire a bunch of like high school kids or
We
whatever.
do,
kids that-
and actually adults who love Halloween, about 20.
you got about 20
It's
people out there.
it's my favorite project,
Yeah.
I would say.
Just all hiding in the woods, jumping out.
Oh,
and-
yeah. It's scary.
Isn't one of them like haunted and one of them's like magical? Or
Yeah,
something like that?
one's magical. So we have the spooky one for little kids, and that's more fun, like fairies and twinkling lights and, just normal Halloween stuff. And then the haunted forest is scary. I'm trying to, like Jason, Voorhees, witches, yeah.
And those are both on the two kids loops that are on the north side of the property.
Yes.
Nice.
And there's another kids loop. We're very kid friendly with the Dirt Dawgs being home based here, because there's the Creek kids loop, the normal kids loop, which is where the spooky forest is, the Black Diamond kids loop, as we call it. It's probably not what you'd like to call it.
No, it is a Black Diamond Kids loop. It's definitely challenging. It's
When I broke my wrist, I rode so many laps on that because it was the only thing I would trust myself, and it put me like for recovery so we could go build the pump track. It was all at the same time. And then did I hear there's a new kids loop being done?
We're expanding the Haunted Forest Loop, so there's a little bit more land attached to it that we can do about another half mile.
Oh, that'll be sweet.
I know.
You guys just bought the property next to it, right? That's where you're expanding?
Yeah, the white farmhouse.
Yeah, so yeah, you're expanding and making it bigger.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if that house will eventually be for sale or what, so stay tuned.
Just include it in the haunted
Yeah,
thing.
that's what I was thinking.
haunted house.
Right now we wouldn't have to do much.
One thing about the trails here at Cannonsburg for people that don't live here is basically every 2 weeks, a quarter mile gets tacked on somewhere. Good old Bill Norman and Joe Limpin, they just go out and all of a sudden there's more trail. And it has become incredibly difficult to ride the whole main trail in less than an hour. Like, I'm hanging on by a thread. You have to average like 12.6 miles an hour to make it around this thing in less than an hour these days. But the one nice thing is the trail's divided up in such a way that with all the different like cut-throughs and stuff that you can make it any ride or run that you want to do. Like, you can totally plan out like, oh, I'm going to do 6 miles today, or I'm going to do 9 miles, and I want to do a bunch of climbing, or I want to keep it as flat as you can at the ski hill, which is kind of hard to do, but
Yeah.
It's doable.
It is. It is for sure. You just have to know the shortcuts, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, I have an overweight dog, and we try to stay away from the hills.
Yeah.
Craig's dog's super fast.
He's faster than any mountain biker I've ever met.
What kind of dog is it?
He's a Lab Weimaraner mix.
Oh, okay.
So he's just muscle and long legs, basically.
Yeah. Don't be mean to Stanley. Stanley's listening.
Stanley's normally in the background shaking his collar and like keeping our feet warm, which is not a necessity in this room. We're just gonna have the nice hum of the air conditioner for the rest of the summer. That's good.
Yep.
We do really appreciate coming up here. I want to make sure to go down and talk to Doug on the way out. But
No, it's fun. And honestly, it's normally not this hot up here.
It was 92 when I got out of my truck in the parking lot.
yeah,
Oh, my goodness. Okay, so
it's not gonna get much hotter than this.
no. Knock on wood, though. 2
But-
weeks from now, it'll be 105, and you'll be like, remember when it felt cool?
Next podcast, we're all going to be just sitting in the river out front.
I've done it. I've sat in a lawn chair in there. It's a good spot. There is a beach at Cannonsburg. It's the creek. There's a good swimming hole by it down there. Watch out for snakes.
What are you talking about?
They're only in there when I'm in there, it seems like. But
Yeah.
I see them.
No, I've seen a few for sure.
Well, I think it's probably a good time to wrap her up.
Okay.
You're like, yes.
6:05.
I need to go change my pants before I go outside.
Same.
I'm glad we finally got to get you on here. And
Thank you.
Congrats on being the first blacklisted guest.
Getting off the list finally.
Yes. I'm back in.
Yeah, we really appreciate having you on. Go support Cannonsburg. They do a ton for the biking community and the kids and everything. We really appreciate Cannonsburg, everything they do, and letting us use this.
Ski. Buy a ski
And,
pass.
yeah, buy a ski
Oh,
pass.
Dirt Dogs get ski passes, right?
Yeah,
That's
they
kind of a
do,
big
yeah.
bonus of doing. If you want a ski pass, shove your kid on a bike. You get a whole night to yourself, and you get a ski pass.
It is true. We do.
It's a
Quite the
win-win.
value proposition.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a win-win all around.
It is.
But yeah, thank you again. Appreciate having you on finally. Took
Yeah,
a while.
no, it was fun.
But yeah, thank you and everyone listening. Thanks for listening. And like always, guys, remember to keep progressing, keep pushing yourself, have fun. Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Later.